Ciao, my love. How are you? Today's conversation is for those of you who feel that you're entering a new era of your life. You are up leveling in a big way. And I want to talk about the signs that you feel, that you see when that is starting to happen in your life. Let's get to it. Welcome back to the Piloni Tooth Podcast with me, Mayra Piloni. Welcome back. If you're new, well, also welcome. I want to talk about this because it's something I've been feeling really strongly the last few um I want to say weeks, really since Pisces season entering then Aries. Aries really ramped it up, and if many of you know a little bit of astrology, or even if you don't, and you are just on social media, I'm sure a lot of you saw that we had a major stellium in Aries. And it was wild because we've never had anything like that before in our lifetime, and for many lifetimes, actually. So, the energy's been very transformative. Plus, also, if you know Chinese astrology, we are in the fire horse year. So, this year is a wild one, and it's also a 1 year. So, it's like, new beginnings, in big changes, and you feel it. You feel it on every freaking level. Your soul feels that it's entering a new era, like something new is coming in, and one of those things that you start feeling that you're preparing yourself for something new to come in, whether that's, in your career, or your romantic relationships, or where you're living, your home, or whatever it is, really. You can think about whatever it is, you feel it. But one of those things I'm going to say is you start feeling like cleaning your house. You literally start like analyzing every little thing, like, do I want this? Do I need this? You start going through your clothes. You're like, do I want to keep this? Do I love this? Does this make me feel good? If not, you want to donate it. You want to give it to someone who needs it. You just kind of want to clean and clear your space. You start cleaning your house. You're like, I feel like something's happening. And that usually also happens when you're about to move. When you're about to move to either a new house or a new country, a new place, wherever it is, you have this intuitive nudge that you need to clear your space because you can't take so much luggage with you. You can't take so much baggage or so many old things. You really need to get particular about what you want to continue carrying with you. Like, obviously there's things that are priceless, and they're memories of your childhood or of whatever. And of course, you're going to keep those things, but you want to keep the most prized possessions. You don't want to keep so much, crap that you don't really need. So you start cleaning. You start clearing the space. And also, when you clean your house, and your house is very clean and I want to say pristine, you also welcome in beautiful energy. You welcome in abundance. That's also a given. If you watch any videos on feng shui or anything like that about energy, you already know that that's very, important. But that's just, one of those signs, right? Another thing, you start kind of like paying attention to what you're watching on YouTube. Like a lot of the channels that you usually watch, you start not resonating anymore. Like, you don't know what it is. You're just like, it's not even that they're bad people or bad channels, or that they're saying anything wrong. You just kind of don't resonate. You're upgrading to a different level of whatever it is, you know, and you don't resonate with those people or those channels anymore. So you start clearing what you're watching on YouTube. You start paying attention to what you watch on Netflix, what movies, what shows, what things you're watching. You just don't resonate with a lot of stuff anymore. That's a big sign, again, that your energy is upgrading and it's up leveling in a big way, and that something new is trying to come in, that you are becoming a different version of yourself. And those are always very positive signs, right? Another thing, even on social media, you start wanting to, which is what I recently did, follow like almost everyone, okay? You really get particular about what you want to watch. You're like, okay, I am the creator of my life. So I'm going to, like, I'm going to, what's the word? Control in a way. We don't control anything, but I'm just saying, like, you control what shows up on your Instagram, your feed by who you're following. So you start clearing that. You're like, okay, I don't want to follow this person anymore. I don't want to follow that person anymore. Maybe you had a whole bunch of exes, like I did. I had a whole bunch of exes and like ex lovers that were still following me or that I was following them. And I was like, oh, no, 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 no. Let's get rid of all of this. Let's unfollow. Take them off my following list. You start literally wanting to make way for a new soul tribe, a new friendship group, a new romantic partner. You need to, well, I'm not saying you need to, you already intuitively feel the desire to do this. Okay. And that's what it means. It means basically that you're about to enter a new era of your life. And for that, you need to get rid of the old. Again, it's not necessarily that a lot of these accounts, for example, maybe you were following a whole bunch of different companies or different brands or people or whatever. It's not that they're bad. It's just that you're not resonating or you don't want that many things popping up on your feed. You just want to clean your feed, right? And so you start feeling that desire to do that. I also noticed that I wanted to get rid of so many different apps. Like I had, the Telegram app and I got rid of it. It was like, okay, delete. And it was giving me too much anxiety because I constantly had like all these notifications and it's not even about getting rid of notifications on the phone. It's the fact that I didn't even want the app itself. I'm like, I don't want to be on that. I don't want to get messages from anyone on that. So I deleted it. And then also Threads app, which is another social media part of Instagram. I used it quite a bit and I have actually quite a few followers on there. And I was sharing a lot of words and wisdom on there. But somewhere along the line, it started to give me anxiety because every time I opened the app and I went on there, I would see things that I really did not want to see. So I was like, okay, even though I'm sharing a lot of beautiful things, a lot of beautiful wisdom, if every time I open this app, it gives me anxiety, it's a cue, it's a big clue for me and sign that I need to get off of it. And that even though I already had shared a lot of content, I had a lot of followers, and it was a good place to share thoughts and wisdom. Plus, if you're a content creator, what you can also do, you can share your wisdom on threads and then use that, as a post on Instagram, whatever you call it, a carousel or, a quote post or whatever you want to call it. So it is great. It's a great tool, but I don't know. I had to trust my intuition. And I say the same to you. Trust your intuition. Because if you're feeling guided to delete apps or to delete something, even though uh, at face value it looks good and it could potentially be good if you're a creator, but somewhere along the line, your intuition is just kind of telling you, you know what? I think I want to delete it. I think I want to get rid of it. Trust it. Trust it. I swear to you, there is something major coming in. There is something up leveling in a really big way. You don't see it. You don't know what it is. You don't know how it's going to happen. It's just preparation. It's like the divine is working through you and preparing you for your next, big thing in your career, in your life, in your personal life, in your romantic life. There is a reason why you are feeling these nudges. Trust them. So I got rid of that. I got rid of threads. I got rid of Telegram. Um, I don't have TikTok. I only have Instagram, and then I'm obviously on YouTube. And so if you want to follow the podcast there, I'm on YouTube. And I also, post lots of videos and, share a lot of wisdom on there. And I want to kind of focus more actually on the YouTube channel right now. But, I was going through my different Instagram accounts that I have for, my personal one, the one for the podcast, and then I have one for my fashion brand. And I was like, you know what? I started cleaning up and I was like, the only people like for my on my podcast account and on my fashion brand account, I decided the only people I'm going to follow is myself. This is not, narcissistic or selfish. It just is. You know what? Because you are your biggest fan, your biggest supporter, your best friend, your everything. Okay? And if you're like me, you probably have had shitty friendships. Friendships where, they were jealous of you, they were not really true friends, they weren't there for you. And this happens to old souls and empaths and really powerful people. I swear, the more I see it, the more it confirms to be true that those of us with really big lights always end up having the shittiest friendships. Like we've been the overgivers, the lovers, and the sweet ones, the loyal ones. And we just, maybe for a big part of the path, and it's all part of the learning, path, for us, is that you just haven't found those true friends yet. But they exist. Trust me. You just got to keep doing you. But what I'm trying to say is that you are going to be your number one supporter. So, of course, you should like be the only one that you have a following on your business accounts. Now, for my personal account, I do follow quite a few people, but not that many. I think I lower it down to like 150 because I realized again, I was following lots of different brands and I was like, nope, get rid of this. I don't need to follow most of these brands because I get their emails anyway. I'm like, I don't need to constantly see their emails and constantly see their posts on my social media. Like it is what it is. And I mostly follow actually people that, either are I don't want to say friends, but that I connect with, on a positive, way that we have like a soul connection through, online, or people that I know in person, some family, not that many. So I literally just have people I truly resonate at this point, people who are similar to me, who I learn a lot from, who feel good, who are funny. I like watching their posts, whatever it is. But for you, for example, you're gonna find that sweet spot where you're like, okay, I'm only gonna follow a certain amount right now. This is what, I want to keep in my energy field. But you cure I'm gonna mess this word. You curate it to your own, desire. Again, English is my third language. And so yeah, like you start noticing that you are changing things up. I took a lot of people off my followers as well. Again, especially ex lovers, because you think about it. Why should they have the privilege of watching you, stalking you? Because I bet you a lot of these people don't even like anything you post. They don't congratulate you or support you in any way. They are just stalking you. Not even just ex-lovers, but friends. There was people that I was friends with for many years, even almost 20 years. And just I realized they were not my true friend, especially when I needed a friend the most. They were not there for me. And yet they were still on my Instagram account. Like they were still following me. And I was like, oh, hell no. After I was going through to see who was my follower and I realized that they were still on there, I was like, why am I going to give you a free, view of my life and what I'm doing and what I'm sharing when you decided that you are not my friend and that you were not there for me when I actually needed a true friend? No, you are getting deleted off of my Instagram. Now, of course, these people, if you have a public, page, they can continue to stalk you regardless. But that's another thing I'm going to get to. If you start feeling the urge to make your profile private, I would do it. I'm actually considering it. Now, I have this urge all of a sudden, an intuitive hit like, ugh, I want to do my page, my personal page, private. I'm going to sit with it for a couple of days. And if the urge is still there, is still strongly nudging me to do it, I'm going to do it. Because you got to trust your intuition. There's always a reason why you're being guided to do something. And, with making my personal account private, of course, it's only going to be for the people and friends that I currently have on there and that I want to allow into my space. The only negative with that is that if you're someone like a public figure, you're trying to do creation work, public work, then, your page is not going to be viewed by new people. I think that I'm pretty sure that that's how it is with private accounts. So I've never done it. Like, literally, my Instagram account has been public forever and ever since I first created it back in 2013. So that's new. That's new for me. But that is the only way I can control who is watching me. Especially, I don't want any exes watching me. I don't want them stalking me. I don't want any best friends that I used to have just stalking me freely. Like, why should you have a front row to my beautiful life when you decided to be a shitty friend or a shitty person in my life? And it's like, no, bye bye. You are excommunicated. Because, for example, there could be exes who have different social media accounts and I'm not aware of, right? So if they want to continue stalking me, they're going to continue stalking me regardless without me even knowing their account so that I can block them. A lot of the times your stalkers are not obvious. You're not going to know that they're stalking you. But intuitively and energetically, you probably feel it. You feel like someone is probably watching your page, and there's a lot of silent haters, again, people who you've known in person who never support anything you do, anything you post. I had a few, girlfriends like that who would literally just watch all of my stories. So if they were watching my stories, I'm sure they were watching all my posts as well. And, I would support everything that they posted, but they would never support anything I posted. I was like, oh, okay, I see. Delete, delete, we're done. Because they're already showing me that they don't like me. And it's just, you start discovering that. You start discovering that the more authentic you are, the more expressive you are, the more outspoken you are, you start to notice who actually likes you and who doesn't. And I've unfortunately had to learn that throughout the last couple years, and why my circle of people that I trust and call a friend, is almost zero. Like, at this point. And that's okay. It's okay to be at zero, because let me tell you that your true tribe, your true friends, your true soulmate comes in when you empty out all the fakes. And this is mostly what this is about, what I'm trying to share with you. These are all the little signs you start getting. You start getting all these intuitive hits. You're like, okay, I really need to start changing and cleaning up and moving things around. You're doing it because a new era is beginning for you. Something new is trying to come in. And again, you're going to trust all those intuitive hits that you're currently feeling. Clean out the YouTube, clean out the Netflix. I don't really like watching TV too much anyway, but I like to watch things that make me happy, like maybe travel shows or history things, or I don't know, mostly travel and food, really. So you want to put all these beautiful positive things into your consciousness and your mind. I think a lot of us already know that every time we open our social media app, there's always, one thing and another that, is either a rage bait or is news that you really didn't want to see. And I also trust that if the divine needs you to know certain information that is very important that that information will get to you somehow. A lot of the times we inundate ourselves with news, and we really don't need to. We don't need to know every single piece of news that's happening around the world. That's crazy for our energetic, like frequency. Like you need to be at your highest energetic level to create. And if you're constantly dampening that energy with all this toxic negative news, you're not going to have the energy to, follow your purpose and do your purpose. Like, yeah, we need to be informed, but not about every little thing. Okay. And there's a lot of really negative stuff on social media nowadays. It's just getting crazy and unreal. But yeah, just to end this and circle back to what I'm saying, you start feeling the intuitive nudges. You start feeling like you need to clean up, like you need to make room and space for something new. You don't know what that new is yet. Maybe you're calling in something, and maybe you're calling in your true soulmate. And I have always said this multiple times, in order for that new soulmate to come in, to really be, for you to be truly ready to receive and be in that energy of receiving, you need to get rid of the old. You need to let it go. And it took me actually quite a while to let go of some connections because I thought I was letting them go, but in reality, I wasn't, because I was still talking to them like casually as friends. Or I still had them following me on social media, or if they would text me randomly about something, I would respond to them. And it's like, no, that's still keeping them in my energy. And that was cock blocking me. Okay. And so think about it, because maybe if it resonates for you, think about what you're still allowing in your energy and, act accordingly. So, anyway, I wish you the best wherever you are. I'm sending you a really big hug, un grande abbraccio e un bacio. E alla prossima. Mwah.